Jason was recommended to us by a really good friend, Chris Wells, who's the women's coach at St. Lawrence now, who had coached Jason in the New York State program. Really spoke a lot about Jason's character, his hockey sense, and what a competitor he was. Jason's most unique characteristic for me in my 33 years of coaching, I would say, is honestly, he had an uncanny ability to give the person he was playing with the puck exactly where they wanted it. Not where they liked it, but where they wanted it.
For me personally, it didn't take long for me to see that creativity. I think in the informal skates before we officially start the season, you could see that little swagger. It was one of those kids that you kind of say that might be fun to play with that guy.
Jay definitely had the unique ability to create offense for himself and for others. He just saw the game a little bit differently. His vision was exceptional. He had a high hockey IQ. Just kind of one of the guys that, you know, if he had the puck, you just knew to kind of try to find a soft spot. And if you were open, he was going to get it to you. And if he didn't get it to you, there was a reason he didn't get it to you. As a player, he kind of just had that charisma. He really brought people together. Very likable guy. Led by example. Did all the little things that were necessary to kind of get everybody else on board. Even though he was, you know, putting up all these points and receiving these individual accolades, it was all about the team. It was all about winning. And that kind of just trickles down throughout the team.
The kid had a ton of pride in the program, and he always has. He's always wanted to put it up against all the other bigger programs in Hockey East, as well as the nation.
You know, I think when he came in as a freshman, we were a very heavy leadership, senior-driven team. And so I think Jason had the opportunity to learn from some guys when he came in, and certainly then his innate, you know, his family, himself, you know, I don't think people can be sprinkled with pixie dust and all of a sudden become leaders. I think their upbringing, their background, the people that they associate with, the morals and values they're taught from a young age help drive them to become the leader they can become. And I wasn't there Jay's senior year, I'd come to Babson, but certainly the success that he had, that the team had, you know, I would certainly from afar attribute to Jason stepping into that role as a senior and probably becoming the type of senior captain that Jimmy and Leon and Chris and Leon and Willie were.
But he loves the game. Once his career ended, I wasn't surprised that he got ready to coaching, and you know, his brain was always running that way anyways. So I think it's nice to see he's able to continue on and kind of follow his passion for the game that way.
Just a really humble, honest, hardworking young man. He's worked at some great institutions as well as good hockey programs, and now the opportunity to come back to Northeastern, I'm sure will pay incredible dividends for both the program, the players, the alumni, and for Jason's continued growth and maturation.
When you have a Hall of Fame, especially here at Northeastern, I don't know how you could really have one without having him be a part of it. All the little things, the intangibles, obviously he was a great player, but just the intangibles, the way his teammates loved him, the way he worked, he just kind of epitomizes what you'd want an athlete to be like, on and off the ice.
A Husky through and through, and tonight in Northeastern Athletics Hall of Famer Jason Guerriero.
Well, we should start off by asking Jason, how's he feeling? How are you feeling? Took a shot to the head recently.
Yeah. Well, first off, shot to the head, little concussion, but I'll be all right, bright lights. To JJ, your visit wasn't, you said your visit here, your official visit wasn't that good. My official visit was great. They took me to Punter's Pub, so locked me in right away.
All right, so that's one memory. Do you have a best memory, a favorite memory from your time at Northeastern?
That's a loaded question. I gotta answer that correctly, or it might be walking home. I'd say it's meeting my wife here at Northeastern. But one B, I think, would probably be, was my first beanpot game that I played. As a New York guy, I didn't really fully understand what the beanpot was. And then obviously getting here and what it meant to the school and to the local guys. And Mike Ryan, obviously a Hall of Famer that was up there speaking. You know, that first game we played Harvard, I forget the score of the game, Mike, but for Mike, he was drafted by Dallas Stars at the time, and he had a hat trick that game. And for me, and being on his line, it was amazing to see that he had a hat trick at that stage in front of so many players, so many spectators and NHL scouts. So for me, playing on that stage in front of that many people and being a part of that and seeing him get that hat trick, and I was fortunate enough to have the 3 assists on his goal. That was a big deal. But that was a big moment for me. And as those guys said in the video, like, it was about the team for me. I never really got excited when I scored a goal, but I was more excited when I, got an assist. And to see someone like that score a hat trick on that stage, it was a big moment for me at Northeastern.
So doing a little research and obviously following your path and understanding that you've been an assistant coach, impressive to me was the universities and colleges you've been associated with. Holy Cross, Brown, Yale, and now back at Northeastern. Pretty high IQ schools, right? High academic schools. And that speaks to me about what one of your teammates said in that video, that you were a high IQ guy on the ice. What's it like to deal with athletes who are working at a different level mentally, who are able to probably process more? Because that seems to be your strength.
Yeah, it's just funny you said high IQ on the ice, not in the classroom. And my wife was obviously Northeastern is an unbelievable school and academics, but my wife would remind me vividly or all the time that I only worked at Yale and Brown. I didn't go to Yale and Brown. But no, getting to deal, to coach players with those high IQs, it's almost like a gift. Some guys, either they see it or they don't, and you can teach a lot of parts of the game and what to do without the puck. But some guys, like Mike Ryan and Mike Morris, who spoke, some guys they see the game a different way. And I'd like to think that I was fortunate to kind of have that gift, and hopefully be able to coach some of these Northeastern guys now and make them better players.
Maybe you can utilize this trick that was used on you. All-American in 2005. He led the Hockey East in scoring that year, which is not an easy thing to do, and it came down to the bitter end, and you were in a pretty tight race. So take us through what happened as the final game approached.
Yeah, so senior year, our last game, I believe, was against UMass Lowell, and Boston College was also playing, and there was a gentleman, 2 players, Pat East and Ryan Shannon, both NHLers. Ryan Shannon won a Stanley Cup, and it was down to I think we were a point, we were a point from each other in the scoring title. So the guys before the game were kind of rallying behind me a little bit, hoping that, I can lead Hockey East in scoring. So first period goes by, I have a goal and assist, and it's a good period. So second period goes by, I got goose eggs, I got nothing. So going into the third period, the assistant coach at the time, Gene Riley, comes up to me and he says, hey, both those guys at BC, they're playing tonight, they each have 3 points tonight, you need to pick it up if you want to win the scoring title. I already got 2 points in the game, thinking. So third period goes out, I end up with another goal and 2 assists, and the game with 5 points. So coach comes in, congratulations, Jason leading scorer, Hockey East. The assistant coach leaves, and I said, hey, Gene, what did the Eves and Shannon have? He goes, oh, they didn't have any points, I was just messing with you. So, but I was that type of guy or player that you could challenge me, you could get in my face, and it didn't matter. I would try to respond, and I think that's just who I was. Obviously, he was brought up that way by my parents, Dominic and Cindy, that, hardworking Italian family that, you know, gave me a lot, and that's just the way, I mean, the old expression is you plant corn, you get corn. I'm the example of that. So I'm very grateful for them raising me the way they did.
Congratulations, it paid off. Hall of Famer, enjoy tonight.